This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome to another game of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. This is proving to be another exciting one. We can almost guarantee it. There are only 9 teams left in our tournament. After today, there will be 8. And one of these teams earns the last spot in round 3. Will it be the Winnebago Indians? Let's say hello to them. Winnebago put up 320 points against Oregon. That made them the highest scoring team in round 1. If they win today, they are in the Elite 8 for the first time in 3 seasons. That could be exciting. Hannah Wright, introduce us to your starting lineup.
So I'm Hannah, and I have Merrick, Carolyn, and Sam with me.
Welcome to the Winnebago Indians. But also trying to move on for that last seat, it's the Freeport Pretzels. Let's have a round of applause for them. Pretzels beat Boylan 180 to 150. A win today. Freeport keeps making history. They have never made it to the Elite 8. This would be the first time, and that would be sweet, wouldn't it, Aiden?
Yeah, it would.
Aiden is Freeport's captain. Who have you brought with you today?
I've got Alex, David, and Ben.
Welcome, Freeport Pretzels. Shall we play a game? Grab your buzzers. Our buzz-in round is very simple. You know the answer, you hit your buzzer. The 2 most important rules: wait for me to call your name, say your answer loudly and clearly. Here we go, their first question. What astronomer, the first to observe sunspots moving on the sun's surface, also discovered Callisto, which is one of his namesake moons of Jupiter? Sam.
Galileo.
That's right. The 4 biggest moons are known as the Galilean moons. And the first points of the game go to Winnebago. Plaster of Paris is made from what mineral, whose varieties include alabaster, and which defines a value of 2 on the Mohs hardness scale? Sam. Say that again, Sam.
Quartz.
Incorrect. Freeport, you have a chance for these points. Go ahead, Aiden.
Marble.
Incorrect. It's gypsum, also used in the drywall in your house. What city's NHL team, honoring that city's 1917 Stanley Cup winning Metropolitans, has a tentacle in an S-shaped logo and is called the Kraken? Merrick.
Seattle.
That is correct, the Seattle Kraken, and you have 10 more points. What father of a fellow explorer with the first name Leif founded the first Viking settlement? Aiden.
Leif Erikson.
Incorrect. I will finish for Winnebago. On the island of Greenland? Merrick.
Eric the Red.
Yes, you named the son. We needed the father. Eric the Red earns Winnebago 10 more points. What British possession, whose symbol is a triskelion made of 3 legs, is governed by the Tynwald and is the most populous isle in the Irish Sea? Merrick.
Isle of Man.
Yes, you got it, and those are 10 more. You're up to 40. Which 4th book of the Old Testament is named for the census of Israel? Hannah.
Numbers.
That's right. If you remember your Sunday school days, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, 50 points now Winnebago has. What poet described the passion of old griefs in the 43rd of her sonnets from the Portuguese, which begins, Sam?
Elizabeth Browning.
Yes, we will take that. That poem begins, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. How about 10 ways with 10 points? Bago's on a solid roll up to 60. What region, which covers parts of Arkansas and Oklahoma, Hannah?
Tornado Valley.
Incorrect. I will finish for Freeport. Contains the Boston Mountains? That region also shares its name with a Netflix series, The Ozarks. We would have taken the Ozark Plateau or the Ozark Mountains, too. What person, the first woman to lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda, ignored James Blake's order to vacate her seat? Sam.
Parks.
Yes, Rosa Parks on a Montgomery bus. And if you're paying attention in a recent Bergstrom bonus question, that one was easy because she was a subject of one. Samuel Gompers was the first president of what group of unions which merged with the CIO in 1955? Sam.
IWW.
Incorrect. Freeport. These could be your points. Alex.
The CIA?
Incorrect. The organization is now known as the AFL-CIO. American Federation of Labor is the group that united with CIO. New question. What numbers once used to model rabbit populations? Sam.
Fibonacci numbers.
Yes, consecutive entries ratios that approach the golden ratio and begin 1, 1, 2, 3, 5. What group, which was founded by Gavin McInnes, has members who typically wear black and yellow polo shirts and is an all-male far-right organization? Hannah.
Proud Boys?
Yes, and those are your 10. You're up to 90. Yankee Hotel Foxtrot is an acclaimed 2001 album by what indie rock band fronted by Jeff Tweedy? They often played at Rockford's On the Waterfront celebration. That was Wilco. And that's how we end the round. So Winnebago's off to a pretty strong start, 90 points, but there is a lot left to play. Freeport, in fact, our volleyball round has a lot of points. Our Nika IBW Lightning round even has more than that. Those 2 rounds are still coming, plus the final challenge. Moral of the story, lots of game to play. And we will do that after a quick break. We are back in our final game of round 2 here this season for Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Winnebago versus Freeport. Winnebago has a pretty strong lead with 90 points. Freeport doesn't have any yet, but they are going to add to their score this round. I feel it. In fact, you get the first question because of the coin flip in volleyball. Remember, you can work as a team. The answer just has to come from the captains. Aiden, here is your first question this week in volleyball. What coin was equal to 20 pence, was removed from circulation when the UK decimalized the pound, and was abbreviated with the letter S?
Shelley? Shilling.
I had to take your first answer. You said Shelley. It is shilling. In Christmas Carol, Bob Cratchit made 15 of them a week. We move on now to a question for Winnebago, your first of the round. What alliterative 3-word name identifies a 2021 plan proposed by Joe Biden that includes the American Rescue Plan?
Build Back Better?
Build Back Better. That's 10 points for you. You are up to 100 now. Back over to Freeport. What quantity whose angular form equals an object's net torque over its moment of inertia is the change in velocity per unit time and is denoted A?
Acceleration?
Yes, you got that one right. Units are usually something like M over SQ, like the meters per second, and those are your first points of the round. Nice work. Back over to Winnebago. What poet considered the obscure lives of peasants who kept the noiseless tenor of their way in his 1751 poem, Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard?
It's gray, right? It's gray.
I think so.
Gray, yes.
Gray.
The buzzer got you right before that. I heard someone say it, Gray, Thomas Gray is what we needed, Gray's Elegy, but the buzzer got you. Remember, the answer has to come from the captains because of the deliberation going on. We're back over to Freeport now. Aiden, here's one for you guys. What novel in which Todd Clifton is a member of the Brotherhood is narrated by an unnamed black man who lives underground and is by Ralph Ellison? That was Invisible Man, not to be confused with H.G. Wells's The Invisible Man. Back over to you, Bago. Lloyd Blankfein chairs what investment bank that once employed Trump administration figures like Gary Cohn and Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin?
I have no idea.
JP Morgan?
Incorrect. That's a pretty solid guess. Goldman Sachs is what we needed. Back over to Freeport. What horned animal names a device used by the military to breach doors, a line of trucks spun off from Dodge in 2010,
Ram.
and an NFL team in Los Angeles?
Ram?
That's correct. Yep. Remember, this round, there was no time on the line, so you can take all you need to make sure you listen to all the clues so there's no subtle change. But that one paid off for you. You got 10 points. Nice. Back over to Bago. The Marie de Medici cycle was painted by what Flemish artist known for biblical and mythological scenes depicting fleshy nudes?
Van Eyck?
Incorrect. Peter Paul Rubens. Many of his works are actually on display in the National Gallery in London. Back over to you, Freeport. Which quantity, which is proportional to a wire's length divided by its cross-sectional area, equals voltage over current and is measured in ohms?
Circulation?
Incorrect. Resistance. Resistance is the measurement where you quantify ohms. Sometimes English is hard for me. It's my first language. Anyway, that was wrong. Resistance was the answer. Let's move on. I can rescue myself. We're going to take a break so I can take a breath, collect my thoughts. You get to play at home first, though, with the Bergstrom bonus question, and we'll have the answer in about 2 minutes.
Nicknamed the Galveston Giant, Jack Johnson defeated James J. Jeffries to become which sport's first African-American champion in 1910?
Halfway through our game, and Winnebago's in triple digits. They have 100. Freeport's got 20, not too far behind, because we all know the NECA IBEW lightning round could change things really quickly. Before we get to that, though, maybe a question more importantly worth pizza and pasta from Lino's of Rockford. It's the Bergstrom bonus question. Hands on your buzzers. Anybody watching at home, you've already seen this question. Our contestants have not. Let me know if you know the answer to this, contestants. Nicknamed the Galveston Giant, Jack Johnson defeated James J. Jeffries to become which sport's first African-American champion in 1910? Hannah.
Boxing.
Yes, you got it. Nice work. So you can celebrate a little bit over there. Even your baby brother Carson is clapping for you. Pretty exciting, right? Well, you need to share your pizza with him. She's shaking her head. You see that on camera? She's shaking her head no. Yes, you'll share. Nice job. We'll take another break and come back with that NECA IBEW lightning round I mentioned right after this. Oh, you missed it. We just had a great brother-sister moment in the break of Carson actually giving his sister Hannah a hug because she won that Bergstrom bonus question. Don't believe her head shake. No, it happened. It really did happen, right? Everybody else will vouch for me. Let's go on to the NECA IBEW lightning round, shall we? Because of the flip, Bago, you get the first choice of the 3 categories this week. So, Hannah, they are British wars, Olympic gold medal winners, or CEOs?
Wars.
British Wars.
All right. Given a battle involving English or British soldiers, name the war during which that battle was fought. I'll give you the battle, you name the war, 60 seconds, potentially 100 points added to your score. And then Aiden, you and the team will have 30 seconds to answer what they don't. And remember, both teams' advice, you can pass if you need to because that clock is ticking. Hannah, are you ready?
Yes.
Given a battle involving English or British soldiers, name the war during which that battle was fought. The Blitz, or aerial battle of Britain.
World War II.
World War II.
Correct. Battle of Saratoga.
American Revolutionary.
American Revolutionary War.
Correct. Battle of Agincourt in France.
100 Years' War.
Correct. Battle of Bosworth Field.
Pass.
Battle of Trafalgar.
Napoleonic War.
Correct. Charge of the Light Brigade.
Crimean.
Correct. Battles of Ladysmith in modern-day South Africa.
Pass.
Naval Battle of Jutland.
World War I.
Correct. Battles of Naseby and Marston Moor.
Pass.
Battle of Smithfield, which involved the rebel Wat Tyler and wasn't called a war.
Pass.
Battle of Bosworth Field.
English Civil War.
Incorrect. Battles of, and that's our time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 60 points added. I guess you had 100. That would make the math simple if I just looked at the scoreboard, right? 160 now. We've got 40 points left on the board for you, Aiden, and the team. 30 seconds to go through them. You could blaze through this if you're paying attention. I know that some of these were tough. Are you ready for the first one?
Yep.
Here comes your first description. Name the war during which these battles were fought. Battle of Bosworth Field.
War of the Roses.
That's correct. Battles of Ladysmith in modern-day South Africa.
The Boer War.
Correct. Battles of Naseby and Marston Moor.
Pass.
Battle of Smithfield, which involved the rebel Wat Tyler and wasn't called a war.
Peasants' Revolt.
That's correct. Battles of Naseby and Marston Moor.
7 Years' War.
Incorrect. And there's nothing to go back to. That's a pretty solid category between both of our teams. There's only one question left on the board to go back to. The battles of Naseby and Marston Moor were part of the English Civil War. I think Keith gave that answer for a different one. But so that's that category. Now we move on to Freeport, choosing between the last two. So Aiden, those are Olympic gold medal winners and CEOs.
Olympic gold medal winners.
All right, you got it. Name the Olympic discipline in which these athletes won gold medals at the 2020 Summer Olympics. So we're looking for answers like track and field rather than specific events. And some of these answers may be repeated. Okay? 60 seconds. Same rules for you, Winnebago, if you want to clean up afterwards. Here comes your first one, Aiden. Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and Kevin Durant.
Basketball.
Basketball.
Correct. Ahmed Hafnoui and Katie Ledecky in different races.
Swimming.
Correct. Maddie Lee and Tom Daly.
Pass.
Pass.
Suni Lee.
Gymnastics.
Correct. Allison Felix.
Tennis.
Incorrect. Japan's 13-year-old Momiji Nishiyama.
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding.
Correct. David Taylor and Gable Steveson in last-minute freestyle takedowns.
Pass.
Pass.
Rye Benjamin.
Pass.
American goalkeeper Ashley Johnson.
Soccer.
Incorrect. April Ross and Alex Kleinman.
Track and field.
Incorrect. Maddie Lee and Tom Daly.
Tennis.
Incorrect. And that's all we have time for. 40, right? 40 correct. You're up to 90 points now. So there's 6 left for you and the 60 potential points to add to that 160 you already have, Winnebago, but only 30 seconds to do it. Are you ready for your first one, Hannah?
Yes.
Here it comes. Name the Olympic discipline in which these athletes won gold medals at the 2020 Summer Olympics. Maddie Lee and Tom Daly.
Diving.
That's correct. Allison Felix.
Soccer.
Incorrect. David Taylor and Gable Steveson in last-minute freestyle takedowns.
Wrestling.
That's correct. Rye Benjamin.
Hockey.
Incorrect. American goalkeeper Ashley Johnson.
Water polo.
That's correct. April Ross and Alex Kleinman.
Soccer.
Incorrect. I heard someone say pass, but there's nothing else to go back to because you gave answers for everything else. So you added 30 more to your score. You're up 190 to 3 no one got. Allison Felix is track and field, women's athletics. She's actually a 5-time Olympian, 11 medals. 4x400 relay is what she was in the Tokyo Olympics. Rye Benjamin is also track and field, best known for the 400-meter hurdles. And April Ross and Alex Kleinman are beach volleyball, women's volleyball. So it's a 100-point game right now. Winnebago has 190 and Freeport has 90. But because each question in our final challenge is worth 20, that's not quite that big of a gap. And we'll see how things end up when we do that final challenge next. All right, last seed in our Elite 8 is on the line right now. One of these two teams will get it. Winnebago has 190, Freeport has 90, but we've seen a gap like that, bigger than that, close very quickly playing this game because our final challenge questions are each worth 20 points. That's the only difference between round one. So the two most important rules, wait for me to call your name and say your answer loudly and clearly. Here is our first question in the Mercy Health final challenge this week. Good luck, both teams. What molecule, once called dephlogisticated air, is a diatomic gas that is required for aerobic respiration? Sam?
Oxygen.
Yes, as well as combustion reactions. Diatomic means 2 atoms. Chemically, it's O2. That's the explanation for the definition. You've got 20 points. A 2020 remake of what 1997 JRPG added beings called whispers? Aiden?
Final Fantasy VII.
That's right. You didn't even need the rest of that clue. You've got 20 now, or 20 more for this round. What poet wrote about beekeeping in the Georgics and described a hero who flees westward from Troy to become an ancestor? Carson?
Homer.
Incorrect. I will finish for Freeport. To become an ancestor of the Romans in the Aeneid? Aiden?
Plato.
Incorrect. It's Virgil. He wrote the Aeneid in 1st century BC. Carl Jung wrote, "The ego navigates socially with what construct?" Named from the Latin for mask and related to a longer word for a body of traits. Hannah?
Personality.
Incorrect. Freeport. David?
Soul.
Incorrect. Persona. That longer word was personality. Persona was the answer we needed. That was the construct. What island, which in 2021 recorded Europe's highest ever temperature, saw a 100-foot high increase in its volcano Mount Etna and lies near Italy? Hannah.
Sicily.
Yes. That temperature, in case you're keeping track, 119.8 degrees Fahrenheit. 20 points, Winnebago. What novelist explored involuntary memory in a series whose French title has been translated as In Search of Lost Time and Sam?
Proust.
Yes, and Remembrance of Things Past. 2 different translations of that title, 20 points. What New York City neighborhood lies west of Brighton Beach and is home to the Wonder Wheel, a Ferris wheel at one of its historic amusement parks? Hannah.
Coney Island.
Yes, also known for its hot dogs. Winnebago, 20 more. Under Ramzan Kadyrov, what majority Muslim constituent republic of Russia has carried out anti-gay purges? Carson.
Kazakhstan.
Incorrect. Freeport, you could take these 20 points. Go ahead, Alex.
Georgia.
Incorrect. You're close. It's all in that same region, Chechnya. What president who both overthrew and was succeeded by Milton Obote launched an ill-fated incursion into Tanzania as the dictator of Uganda? Alex.
Idi Amin.
We'll take that. That's right. Idi Amin, 20 points. Those are yours, Freeport. What compounds, which can undergo dehydration to form alkenes, have a hydroxyl group bonded to a carbon atom and are exemplified by ethanol? Carolyn.
Alkanes.
Incorrect. Freeport, you could take these points. Those compounds are alcohols. We would have also taken hydroxyls as well. No points there. That's how we end the game. So Winnebago with 270 points, you get the last spot in the Elite Eight. Congratulations. You are back. You're back there, and you face Keith in your next match. But seriously, congratulations, Freeport, because we all know just making it to round 2 is tough, so you should be proud of that as well. Who are the seniors? Any seniors? So, Alex, you're coming back, right? I'm going to lock you in. And Ben, David, and Aiden, it's been a pleasure having you here. We're glad that you played the game. Hope you had fun. And you come back anytime you visit. And Alex, we'll see you next season. And hope to see you next week when we start that Elite Eight round with Auburn versus Marengo. Thanks for spending some time with us.